How many times have you been shot?
9 times.
9 times.
Why'd the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
It was paid to do it.
Why were you targeted?
It's karma.
But it's really about trust issues. Don't trust me.
He took those bullets like a savage and kept it moving like nothing hit him. But don't get it twisted, that pain never left. 50 Cent didn't just survive, he came back from the edge of death to snatch the rap crown. The unit was rolling. Heavy ripes on him, but with all that shine came shadows. What started as whispers grew into tension. Tension turned to beef. And beef it turned into a loud chaos. This is the unfiltered story. How loyalty cracked when fame came banging at the door. Before the chains, the hits, and the limelight, 50 was just another hungry kid from Southside Jamaica, Queens. No Bentleys, no platinum plaques, just a pen, a vision, and grit. Then boom, the year 2000 changed everything. He was outside his grandma's house when a car pulled up and sprayed 9 shots, legs, hands, face. It should have been the end, but 50, he wasn't going out like that. He lived somehow, but the scars ran deep. After that, he moved different, always watching, always ready. That bulletproof vest wasn't for fashion, it was his armor. Do you still wear a vest? Someone once asked. Most of the time, he said, and that's when people understood. He wasn't just rhyming about violence, he breathed. It, jaw wired shut, body broken, but he didn't fold. NAH 50 went full beast mode. He channeled every drop of pain and fury into his music. The streets couldn't stop talking, mixtapes dropping back to back and every corner was buzzing. A rapper who ate 9 bullets and came back spitting like he had nothing left to lose. That kind of hunger, it hit different. And it paid off. Big time. Eminem heard one of those tapes and he was floored.
But let's see if he connected the dots lyrically. He may have not connected the dots lyrically. You can find me in the I'm like, is it? I turned the rule and everyone in the office and I said, yo, buckle up. We have a major problem.
This guy's hot.
This record, and he's with Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, and Eminem.
He didn't hesitate, passed it straight to Dr. Dre. And just like that, the game changed. 50 locked in a massive deal. The moment in DA Club hit, the whole rap world shook. Even Murder Inc. knew this wasn't some rookie. This was a problem, but 50 didn't storm the game alone. He built a team, G-Unit, a real force. Young Buck, the wild card from the South, raw and unpredictable. Lloyd Banks, smooth with the bars, razor sharp every time he touched the mic. And Tony Yayo, 50's day one from the block. The one who'd seen it all. Together they moved like a rap version of the Avengers, flashy, ruthless, untouchable. But even as the world screamed his name, 50 never forgot that night. That moment death tapped him on the shoulder. He always believed it wasn't random. He named the shooter Daryl Homo Ba.
From the experience of actually being hurt, heightened your senses to everything, the possibilities of things happen. It shifted me. It's either when you get hurt that bad, either your fear consumes you or you'll become a bit insensitive.
50 didn't hesitate, he said. It was Daryl Homo Bohm who lit him up, but the streets, they were whispering another name. Kenneth Supreme McGriff. The word was Supreme bankrolled the hit. Why? All eyes turned to 50's track Ghetto. Quran, he name-dropped not just Supreme, but other Queens legends too. That song ruffled feathers. Especially with a guy like Supreme, not your average street cat. He was a straight-up drug kingpin with federal eyes already watching him. Even before the shots rang out, tension was brewing. Supreme had tried to Big Brother 50 remind him who really ran the streets, but 50, he didn't fold. He clapped back. Loud and Supreme didn't like being disrespected. He ruled with fear, but 50 wasn't scared. Even when Supreme came through his block, 50 stood tall. Then came the bust. 2001, the Fed swooped in. Supreme was hit with charges straight out of a gangster flick: murder, drugs, conspiracy, life in prison. But even behind bars, his name never faded.
Black Just, Black Just.
Everybody
Cream,
fuck with
I don't
Just.
know. I never trusted dog.
Everybody Just though.
I'ma see dark skin, green eyes, cream eyes like.
Prosecutors claimed his power didn't end in a cell. They tied him to more bloodshed, including the murder of hip-hop legend Jam Master Jay. Now the question echoed across the culture. What was Supreme's connection to Jay, and why would he be tied to another tragedy in the music game? See, Jay wasn't just a pioneer, he was a mentor to 50, guiding him as he climbed. But once Ghetto Quran dropped, everything shifted. The track didn't just put a target on 50's back, it might have pulled others into the fire too. One of them, Jam Master Jay himself. Did Supreme really play a role in Jay's murder? That mystery still hangs heavy in the air. Maybe we'll never know. But what's certain is, that song sent shockwaves far beyond the charts, and here's the twist that hit 50 hard. Supreme had ties to Ja Rule.
Bulletproof vest now most of the time, I believe.
Yeah, in the States, just because I've been shot myself, and I've seen Tupac and Biggie Smalls situation.
That's right, Ja Rule, 50's biggest rival in the game. Before the feds grabbed Supreme, he was tight with Irv Gotti, and that meant Murder Inc. Ja Rule's label was tangled up in Supreme's world. Everybody knows how deep that 50 versus Ja beef got, but with Supreme in the mix. This wasn't just rap beef. This was war. If the same circle pushing hits on the radio was linked to a man who may have tried to end him, then who could 50 trust? And just like that, the real threat. It wasn't only from the outside. It started creeping into his own camp when the 50 and Ja Rule battle went full throttle. Diss tracks flying, streets choosing sides 5-0. Couldn't afford a single misstep. He had to move like every day might be his last.
Came to the block, 50 up there, Preem dude, you know those. You know what 50 did? Yeah.
Do it back, yeah.
Oh, you know what the block did?
Yeah, that's what
that's when I knew 50 didn't give a and that's when I knew Preem did.
50 didn't just want rappers, he needed right orders. G-Unit had gone beyond music. This was his inner circle, his personal army. But right in the middle of the fire, the cracks started showing. The first big break, the game at first game, was the West Coast powerhouse bars, energy, street credit, and 50 brought him into G-Unit to raise the heat. On paper it looked like magic, but the vibe flipped fast. Game pulled up to Hot 97 and made it loud and clear. He wasn't trying to beef with 50's enemies. No smoke with Jadakiss, no issues with Fat Joe. Even after they teamed up with Ja Rule on New York, Game still backed off. 250. That wasn't peace, that was betrayal. In his world, if you're not with him, you're with them. No middle ground. Days later, 50 pulled up to Hot 97 with a full G-Unit squad: Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks, and Olivia locked and loaded for the mic. Sitting across from Funk Flex, he aired it all out. Called Game arrogant, reckless, and worst of all, ungrateful. He claimed he wrote most of the documentary. Game's debut album a huge hit, and now he wanted credit for building that success. So when Flex asked, "Where's Game stand with G on it?" 50 didn't flinch. The line was drawn, Game was out. But this story was just getting started. Game heard what went down and pulled up to Hot 97 with his crew ready for a real confrontation. Security held them back. Then, it got ugly. Gunshots rang out in front of the station. One of Game's people caught a bullet. This wasn't rap beef anymore, it was war. Whatever bond 50 and Game had, it was destroyed that night. And it didn't end there. The next blow didn't come from the outside, it came from inside G-Unit itself. From someone even closer, Young Buck.
Give him a chance, give him the benefit of the doubt then, but you know, you could take this as official notice right here, because we're on the hottest morning show in the world right now. Pretty much you could say, Young Buck is no longer in the group G-Unit, but signed to G-Unit.
At one point, Buck was 50's right-hand man. He brought that raw southern fire, hungry, loyal, always ready to go to war. But by 2008, something changed. Fans noticed his voice had vanished. He wasn't on the mixtapes. He was missing from Return of the Body Snatchers. Nothing. Whispers turned into headlines. Where's Buck? Then in May, Buck let it all out in an XXL interview. He admitted he and 50 hadn't talked in months. Spoke on the pressure, the money, to stress the tension building behind closed doors. It wasn't disrespectful, but it was public. And for 50, that was the issue. Another soldier breaking rank and airing personal business. And just like with Game, 50 didn't bite his tongue.
The line a little bit with you, so I swear to God I have.
Yeah, you're gonna be alright, you hear me?
I'm wrong.
This is 50.com.
April 7th, 2008, 50 pulled up to Hot 97's morning show. No shouting, no drama. Just cold, calculated delivery. Right there on live radio, he officially kicked Young Buck out of G-Unit. Second founding member dropped publicly. But Buck wasn't going out like that. He clapped back immediately with a diss track aimed straight at 50. But what really shook the streets, a leaked phone call. Buck on the line with 50, emotional, breaking down, even crying, begging to fix things, apologizing, trying to come back into the circle. It was raw and uncomfortable, and 50%. He dropped the tape for the world to hear. Still, Buck didn't fold. Less than a day later, he fired back with another track that taped conversation, flipping the narrative, painting 50 as the villain. It was messy, personal, but truth be told, the damage was done. Lloyd Banks' section rewrite while the chaos exploded around him. One man stayed silent. Lloyd Banks. No interviews, no diss tracks. While everyone else was firing shots, Banks stayed low. For him, loyalty wasn't about headlines, it was about staying solid, even as the foundation cracked. Through all the beefs, betrayal, and back and forth, 50 still stood tall with the G-Unit flag. He wasn't letting go that easy. He pushed harder, more mixtapes, solo projects, TV spots, but behind the scenes, the energy had shifted. That brotherhood, it was starting to feel more like business. And by 2010, the spark that once made G-Unit unstoppable, it was fading. Even Tony Yayo, one of 50's most loyal, admitted things weren't the same. The hunger was gone, the chemistry was off, and the fans, they could feel it. Sales dropped, the buzz cooled off, and a new wave of rap crews started stepping into the spotlight. Still, 50 wasn't just standing by while the ship sank. He was already pivoting, stepping into TV, stacking business moves, and building an empire that stretched way beyond rap. But behind the scenes, whispers started swirling about Lloyd Banks. He had always been the quiet one, the calm presence, but now folks were saying he wasn't answering calls, skipping out on G-Unit projects and making his own quiet exit. Eventually, 50 addressed it head-on in a blunt interview. He said both Banks and Yayo were stuck, trapped in the past, and not growing with the game. And just like with Buck and Game, he called it out publicly. No filter, no soft landing. One by one, the same day one soldiers who helped build the G-Unit empire started peeling off, not with a bang, but with silence and distance. By the early 2010s, G-Unit felt more like nostalgia than a movement. But then, out of nowhere, Summer Jam 2014. Boom, 50 hit the stage, and the crowd lost it. Even more shocking. Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, Young Buck, and New Face Kid all came out right beside him. For one moment, it felt like the glory days were back. Unity, power, brotherhood. But the spark fizzled fast. They dropped a few mixtapes, hit radio interviews, tried to light the fire again, but it just wasn't the same. The magic was missing. The vibe felt forced, like a family dinner where everyone smiles for the group photo, but tension hangs thick in the air. Behind the scenes, things started falling apart again. Weird interviews, subtle shade in social posts. Then slowly, the members started slipping away. Banks dipped first. No announcement, no drama, just vanished. Later, 50 revealed that Banks straight up ghosted him, wouldn't answer calls, wouldn't pull up, and just didn't have the drive anymore. Then in 2023, even Yayo, the last real soldier, admitted it was time to step back. In his own words, 50 had a habit of staying in control, too tight, never letting his team fully shine. That was it. No final press release, no send-off. Geo didn't explode, it just faded. Like a cold wind slipping out the back door, it got quiet but never really died. Way back when 50 was beefing with the whole industry, Banks stayed silent. No diss tracks, no interviews, no mess. But to 50, that silence always felt suspicious. He could never tell where Banks really stood. Was it loyalty, or was he just holding in resentment? Some folks say Banks gave off lazy vibes, but deep down he might have been carrying quiet tension toward the man who put him on. Still, when it came to Buck and Banks, even after drifting apart, neither of them ever truly disrespected what G-Unit meant. There was always a sliver of respect there, but Game, that bond was torched, that bridge long gone. Just ashes now. Sure, G-Unit's done a few reunion shows over the years, and every time, fans cross their fingers. But when 50 gets asked about bringing the team back together, he plays it cool. No promises, no hype, and the truth. There's no movement, just memories. But one thing's for sure, 50 Cent doesn't trust the way he used to, and honestly, can you blame him? Now, speaking of loyalty, I know you're solid, so do your part. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know which G-Unit moment had you shocked the most. And don't go anywhere, because next time, we're diving even deeper into the culture. Let's see what wild story is about to pop off next, right here, in the heart of the game.